Becoming a Property Developer Part 2. And in this mini-series, we are going to be looking at how to find, how to fund, how to fill or flip great development sites where you can be making £250,000 with just your first or next development. And this is part 2, so we are going to be talking about funding. My name is Liam Ryan. I'm one of the co-founders of Assets for Life, and I love business, I love property, I love entrepreneurship, and you know what? Funding is such a crucial part of being a developer, and this is one of people's biggest blocks, challenges. Many people believe that they need to have access to hundreds of thousands, millions of pounds to go and be a developer. The fact is, you can become your own developer using OPM, other people's money. And I'm going to share with you in this video how you can do that, where you can find investors, and how you can use creative finance. I've been in property for over 20 years now. For the first 12 years, I made every single mistake in the book and I lost over 2 million euros. But for the last 8 years, I've personally raised over £9 million of other people's money, been involved with over £28 million worth of property deals. People call me the money man in property. And if I can do it, you can certainly do it too. So where can you go and fund your developments? Well, your development funding is really broken down into 2 main parts. Number 1, typically it's what we call development funding. And the second piece is what we call the equity part. This is where the bank is going to want you to have skin in the game. So let's look at the development funding side. There are many companies in the UK that specialize in lending developers money to go and do development deals. This might be a small development where you find a parcel of land and you're just going to build 1 house or 2 houses or 3 houses, or it could be for a much larger plot where you're going to be building out maybe 10 or 15 or 20 houses. I typically tend to do smaller developments. I like to be in and out of the deal much quicker. And I've also done some bigger stuff. I'm working on Maidenhead right now, where we're doing a new build, a commercial conversion, a commercial unit, just under £10 million GDV project, 26 units in a 6,000 square foot commercial space. But that's taken much longer. Of course, there's more risk. Yes, there's more reward, there's more profit. But for anyone really starting this process, small parcels of land where you can be building 4 or 5 houses, you are going to make great profits. The risk is going to be down and it's going to be a much smoother process because you can be in and out of the deal really within a 12 to 15 month period. So the funding part, the banks will typically give you around 75 to 80% loan to cost. What does this mean? Let's say the plot of land is going to be an investment of £500,000. And let's just say to go and build the houses with professional fees, architects, planning consultants, the construction cost. Let's just say, for example, you're in for another £500,000. So the total cost of the development, £1 million. You can typically borrow £750,000 to £800,000 of that from the bank. They might lend you a percentage for the purchase and then a percentage for the build cost, but I always work this out at around about 75 to 80% loan to cost. So from £1 million all-in development, you will only need to go and find, let's just call it £200,000. Now, that doesn't necessarily have to be your money. It depends obviously on what the lender will allow, but you can go and find somebody else to put the equity piece in. This is what we call skin in the game, because the bank is going to want to make sure that you, your investors, your partners, you also have an element of risk in the scheme. Now, if you are a brand new developer, it may be more difficult to get the development funding. However, there are solutions. You can joint venture with an existing developer, for example. This is exactly how I got involved with my first ever development. My business partner, Jay Munoz, he's a chartered civil engineer. He's worked on some of the biggest builds in London. He had what I like to call the developer blue tick. So me and Jay became business partners. The banks really liked Jay, and they also liked me, but I didn't have the development experience. But because I was partners with Jay, we were able to get the borrowing on our first ever site, which is where we built 7 flats and 2 houses in Priory Street, Colchester. That was an incredible scheme. It was a 52-week build process. We was in and out of the deal in 18 months, many ups and downs, but a fantastic, fantastic project to get started. And that then really gave me the confidence to move into doing other types of developments, commercial conversions, land developments, and much bigger deals that I'm doing today. So the 80% will come from the bank, and then you need to find the 20% equity. And my whole model is using other people's money. So even if you've got the 200 grand sitting in the bank, I always prefer to use someone else's money. Then you can use your money for other investment projects. This is how you scale over the longer term. So the £200,000 shortfall, that could be done with a joint venture partner. So they put in the money, you do the work, and then you share the profit 50-50. Or you can do it on a savings accelerator where you borrow the money on a coupon, a fixed rate return. And let's just say you borrow that at 6%. So let's say I'm the investor. I'll lend your company the £200,000. And let's say I lend it to you for 2 years, you're going to pay me 6% per annum. So at the end of the 2 years, you're going to be paying me back my £2,000 plus 12,000 interest year 1, £12,000 interest year 2, that's £24,000. That's more money than what you'll make having the money sitting in your bank account with interest rates being where they are right now. Now, it doesn't have to be one investor that gives you the 200,000. Maybe it's 2 investors at 100,000 each. Maybe it's 4 investors at 50,000 each. Maybe it's 20 investors at 10,000 each. There's many different ways in which you can slice up the £200,000 that's needed. This is how you can go and fund your developments. This is how you scale. And once you've done your first development, the bank, once you pay them back, they're going to love you, and then they're going to offer you more money for bigger developments. Now, caution, don't go too big too quick. Take your time. Make sure the sites are reduced in risk, in and out. Good schemes where you can build the right type of houses for the right type of client. You can find the right land. I shared that in part 1 of this mini series, so make sure you go and take a look now if you haven't done. Part 2, we're talking about funding. And then part 3, we're going to be talking about filling or flipping those particular sites. But the reality is, it doesn't matter who you are or where you're from. Every single one of you can go and do developments. You don't need to start with single lets. You don't need to do deal packaging. You could go straight in and do your own first development. So where are you going to find investors? Well, investors are absolutely everywhere. Friends, family members, business associates, they're on social media, they're at networking events. The issue right now could be that you want to do this, but you do not know what to say to the investors. You're not quite sure how to structure the deals. You don't have the confidence, and this is leaving you stuck and overwhelmed, confused, and really leaving you in a place where you keep doing what you've done all these years and not getting a better result. You need to be brave. You've got to get yourself educated. There is more money out there today than ever before. Honestly, it's easier to access, and there are investors right now that know you, but you are the world's best kept secret, that will give you the money. So what do you need to do next? Well, if you've enjoyed this video, and if you want to build a property business using none of your own money, then I am running a very, very special event. you can click the link somewhere around this video. I'm running a number of events where you can come and spend time with me and my great business partners, and I will show you how to go and use other people's money. I'll get to meet you. We'll get to hang out. I'll really take you behind the curtain and show you exactly what's needed for you to become a professional property investor. I've been turning ordinary people into extraordinary property investors, getting life-changing results. And now, in my expert opinion, is a great time for you to become a property investor. So somewhere around the video, hit the link, completely free of charge. Come and hang out with me and my team. And if you like what you see, hopefully I can get to work with you much longer. And hey, you could become one of my biggest success stories for the next 12 months. I love business, I love property, I love entrepreneurship. So hit that link now, watch one of my next videos, and I'll see you very, very soon.